Okay, what you need for this practice is space, more or less the size of a yoga mat. Space also to sound, and you might want 1 or 2 meditation pillows or other alike pillows to prop yourself up when needed. We're going to start by simply standing, having the feet just a little bit over hip width apart, just a tiny little bit. The toes pointing forward, the knees slightly bent, some motion in the hip range, the shoulders relaxed, the face relaxed. Closing the eyes here and taking a moment to make contact with the floor on which we stand. Maybe we're outside, standing on the earth. And allowing the jaw to unhinge, breathing in and out through the mouth. You can become aware if there are any points in which you automatically hold your body. And just inviting the body with ever so slight motions to let go. Letting go in those areas of tension. Breathing. And then we can visualize as if we are growing roots into the earth, growing roots from our pelvic area through the legs into the earth, through layers of sand, clay, water, rock, and plugging into the center of the earth, into this big ball of fire. And through these roots, we're drawing up that fire-like energy from the center of the earth, inviting a little shake in our body. Here is a fine line between allowing it to naturally arise and fake it till you make it. Especially in the beginning of the shake, you will probably have to put in some effort, but you're not shaking from willpower. Now you're feeling, where does the tremble arrive in my body, in my being, and breathing into that shake and allowing it to expand from there. Again, unhinging the jaw, noting if you're tightening the jaw, breathing in and out through the mouth, really allowing this shake to fill you up. Shaking all the way from the center of the earth and shaking from the center of your body too, from the pelvic region. We're going to spend a few minutes here breathing. And we can experiment with releasing some sound on the exhalation, and again inviting the sound to come all the way down from the pelvic region. So you might want to place your hands on your lower body or on your hips and allowing the breath to fall all the way down. Allowing the sound to naturally rise up. It doesn't have to be beautiful, it doesn't have to be anything. It's just a sound expressing the isness of this moment, of this shake, of whatever energy wishes to be moved through your being. Doing this for 3 more deep breaths. Increasing the shake. Releasing the shoulders, the hips, the head as we shake. One more. And very gently building the shakedown. Coming to a standstill. Taking your time. Keep the gaze directed inwards. Feeling the reverberations of this shake through our being. Our energy body waking up. Breathing in awake awareness. Now you can keep your eyes closed or opening them only if you need to. This is valid for the entire sequence. You can visualize as if a pencil is falling out of the core from your body and drops onto the floor. So it might be falling from your perineum downward or from your sex down. And then you can just bend the knees ever so slightly and start drawing the tiniest circles onto the floor with this pencil. The tiniest circles, tiniest hip circles, pelvic circles. Continuing to breathe. And very gently increasing the size of the circles, the width, the roundness. Being very present for the feeling, the experience of this circling of the hips. The felt sense, we can say. Using your breath in the circling in whichever way feels natural for you, and increasing the circles even more. You can also take your arms in and really make this a little sensual dance just for you. Breathing, experimenting how big can you make those hip circles. And how does it feel? Can you allow yourself the pleasure of pelvic awakening? Or are there a lot of judging voices in your mind? Can you allow them too? Simply recognizing their existence, recognizing your resistance. It's okay. If you're really getting the hang of it, you might even want to explore bringing a little smile to the face. And if you're really getting the hang of it, you might want to explore licking your own lips as you go here. Bringing in some sensuality in these hip circles. Breathing and making the circles smaller again. And when we're arriving at center point, changing direction. Again, starting very small. And gently in your own pace, increasing the circles. Breathing. And really exploring your range of motion here. And when you're at your final range of motion, including the whole body in this dance, again that little smile, again that sensuality. You might even want to take your hands and rub them over your body as you're continuing to circle the pelvis, the hips. Also here inviting some sound. Hey. And making the circles a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller. Coming back to center. Feeling how the body comes to a still, but the energy keeps circulating for a while until that also finds a still point, though it never really finds a still point. There is always motion in our energetic body. We're resting here in the reverberance of this exploration, feeling the vibration. From here, widening the feet just a little bit more, still keeping them pointed forward. We're gonna do some pelvic thrusting, or as one of my colleagues says, we're gonna do some air fucking. And at first we're gonna reverse the breath, and then we're putting the breath in its natural or most used order. So reversing the breath means we are inhaling as we thrust forward, exhaling as we come back. So you can keep your hands as fists and moving them in the opposite direction of your pelvis as you're thrusting, and really give it your all in this exercise. Give it your all. No one's watching, or maybe you're doing this together. If you are doing this together, you can do it standing opposite each other. It's real fun. So hands moving opposite pelvis, and we're going to start by inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Closing the eyes when you got the rhythm. Really connecting to your own power as you're doing this exercise. giving it your all, allowing emotions of potential anger, sadness, fear to flow through your being. You are safe right now. If at any time you need to stop, take it more slow. Just stop, come to a standing position, lay your hands on your lower belly, breathing there, and continue when you're ready again. 3 more. Breathing in, hold the breath, come to a stand still in center. And letting go. Allowing whatever is flowing through your body, through your being, to flow in awareness. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're gonna do the same thrusting, reversing the breath, meaning we inhale when we move the pelvis backward and we exhale when we move the pelvis forward. This time I'm gonna invite you to really bring sound into the equation. So that might look something like this. Ha! 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 When you're sounding, make sure it's coming from that pelvic region too, because you're not gonna want to overwhelm your throat with this. This is an extremely good exercise for strength, empowerment, also for the lung area in which we hold a lot of sadness, which gets transformed through a little bit more forceful exercises like this, and for balancing the first 3 chakras. So here we go. Breathing in and thrusting. Ha! 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 Closing the eyes when you got the rhythm. Ha! 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 30 more seconds, really giving it your all. Ha! 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 And coming to center, breathe in, hold the breath. Exhale, release. Allowance, presence, aliveness. I am here. Connecting to these first 3 centers. The center of I am, I feel, I choose. I choose simultaneously equals I surrender. From here we're bending forward, allowing the head to fall down, rounding the spine. You might want to rest your hands on the floor if you're flexible enough to do so. Otherwise, you might want to rest your hands on one or two pillows, or even on a chair or a tabletop. If you cannot reach any lower, the effect for the exercise is exactly the same. As long as you can really relax the spine, let the head hang loose. Here we can visualize how the energy of earth and fire comes up through the back of our legs. The energy of air and water evaporates off and ripples down like a waterfall over our back, over our spine, out of the crown of our head, out of our arms, back into the earth, thus allowing the energy to circulate like that, breathing in through the legs, breathing out through the back, the spine and the arms. Standing here for another minute or so. You can always bend the knees if this posture is uncomfortable for you. This is not about forcing anything. Keeping the gaze inwards, feeling this intimacy between you and your body, between you and your energy. And then slowly bending the knees, coming to sit on the ground. You can either sit on a pillow or sit on the floor as our pelvis prefers it. And then having the soles of the feet touch one another and holding the feet with our hands as we gently butterfly the pelvic region open. Again, closing the eyes here, this gentle coming down of the sequence, allowing all the energy we've just been building to spread through our system. Again, this is a very gentle motion. So it's without any force. If you find your if you find you're pressuring yourself, please take it a few steps back. Breathing here. Continuing this practice, and just a little note that if you are noticing that your back is rounded, for many of us, especially for men, as they are just in a different anatomical system, when they sit on the floor like this, you might notice you have a bit of an arch in your lower back, a bit of a rounding in your lower back which you cannot stretch. If that's the case for you, prop yourself up on a cushion. You're going to want your spine to be straight, otherwise you're stressing your lower back. That's not the aim of this sequence. So now, for all of us, placing one or two meditation cushions behind us, resting the butterflying here, closing the eyes. You might want to glide backwards, and you might want to use your arms to come and lay over that cushion, opening the chest. This is a hip and heart opener, and really folding your arms above your head in a gesture of full surrender. Surrender to the unknown. And the eyes closed here. Breathing. We find the strain on our legs, on our hips is getting too much. We can gently stretch our legs one by one. Surrendering your body onto the earth. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Moving your toes and fingertips, bringing your legs together, lifting your buttocks, taking out one or two cushions from underneath you, bringing the hands to the side of the body, taking a few more moments to rest in Shavasana. Letting go fully. You can come and lay on either one of your sides. Taking a few more moments to lay in a fetal position, really embracing yourself. Gently coming to a seated position. Taking just a minute of silence here. You can stay here in meditation as long as you like. You can wiggle the body, bring it back to life, invite the breath in. Laying one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. As if these hands are saying, I got you. We got this. And bringing the hands in a position of prayer, a position of namaste, bowing down to yourself for taking the time. For your willingness to wake up out of trance. For your willingness to be alive.